Now I've taken the clamps off that I had the other day. The glue is all dry, and you can see everything is kind of roughed in. And what we're going to do is, from here, we're going to cut all these pieces out. First thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to actually make an access so I can get the wire through here. So I'll just take a drill, cordless drill in a bit, and right here in the foam, just kind of clean them all out. Now that I've put all the holes in, next step is going to be to remove all this foam in between. What I'm using is this Woodland Scenics foam cutter. It's basically nichrome wire. It creates a heating element. It's hooked up to a small or low voltage transformer. To do this, what I have to do is I've got to feed this wire through. I've got the wire fed through one of these holes, and now it's just a matter of turning it down and cutting this out. This is the fun part. This is actually very fun. And all I'm doing is I'm kind of rubbing the wire up against the side of the MDF on the top and the bottom. I think this one that I put into does not cut it all the way, so I'm going to have to come in from the back side. Bring it over, rub it up against the other side, kind of draw it up as it wants it heated and cut it, and come through, turn it off, and it'll be a matter of popping it out, like I say, a little hard. But the piece just pops right out. So I've completed the routing of the small arches at the top, at least on 6 of the 10 that I'll need to do this project. My next step is going to be to take off one of these 2 lips. Now, when I set this, I set it at 1.125". So what I'm going to do is to take one side off, I'm going to set my saw blade to 1.125" at the far side of the blade. In fact, I may even do it just a little bit under 1.125", and I'll finish it off with the router. Now when I do this, I have to be careful of which side I take off. When I made these, there is a little triangular detail that goes above each one of these on the outside. So what I did when I built them, on the outside, I only nailed it at the very end. And in the center, and then again on the end. These areas will get covered over with the false work, so that's not going to be a problem. I don't want any nails over here. So what I'm going to have to do, as I say, you got to keep an eye on this. I've got my X's marked, and we're going to go from there. Cut off that little rib, you can see, as I kind of work my way across. Everything is pretty much lining up. How it's supposed to be. since it's getting late, you might be able to see I've got a little ridge on here. I'll change out my router blade. I'll clean that up tomorrow or the next couple of days. And then from there, I'm going to start expanding these out about the 1.1 inch, and I got to make that little arches like in the first one that go all the way between them. So that's the next production order.